Awesome. So just to recap again, everybody, we have Arkatect with us today. Super exciting musician, streamer, does all kinds of really cool stuff. So quick question. Are you thinking that you're going to be releasing any music at some point, or are you just creating?
So that kind of brings me to what's in my background here is a project I've been working on. So I'm doing this kind of project / challenge where I'm challenging myself to every day for 30 days create a new short piece of music based on a piece of like video game music based on a different environment that you might find in a video game. Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
So I have the kind of list of environments. So it's things, some are more specific and some are more vague. So the ones I've done so far are like grass, water, fire, like those types of environments you might find in a game. And then the more specific ones are like town, amusement park, Wild West, casino, like those ones I think are, I haven't gotten to some of those and I think those will be a bit more difficult and challenging, but just as kind of an exercise more to force myself to think outside the box a little bit and focus my music instead of just making whatever feels interesting, focus it on a particular, like I want to make a thing that sounds like this type of environment. And video game music in some ways is easier, in some ways harder, but to kind of have a tune that can sort of repeat over time, right? A little vignette almost of what that might sound like. So I'm partway through that. I'm pretty early on. Today's day 6. And I've done a couple little bonus ones in between. Like I did one that I was like, oh, this could be like a save menu music, right? When you go to save your game, that little short kind of be the place in the background. So a couple bonus ones as well will be thrown in there. But at the end of the 30 days, I'm just going to release that on YouTube. I'm also making each one a different
so awesome,
sort of,
man.
Yeah, each one I have a different little graphic, which I've done a few of the audio spectrum and different, so it kind of evokes that feeling as well in the graphics. So yeah, at the end of 30 days I'll release that, so that should be coming out like beginning of August sometime.
That's gonna be super cool if you do it. If you do the release like that. I don't know. Do you ever listen to like lo-fi beat stuff where they do like different like looping animations and stuff?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you could. I feel like a lot of those channels sometimes they even like take their walks, like walking around cities, and set it to that. So another idea because someone who already videos yourself walking around cities always an option.
Yeah, that was my thought. It was like I want to put this on YouTube, right? Because I think SoundCloud is sort of saturated with stuff like that, and I think releasing it on YouTube, it can be sort of contained as this is the project, and I have a little playlist and stuff. But yeah, I was thinking if I'm doing that, I have to have some sort of visual component, and just kind of putting just the audio spectrum stuff on it is a bit boring. So kind of spicing that up and having each one be formatted a little bit different. But yeah, it was like, it'd be great if I had some video or something to evoke those. That'd be a bigger project to go out and film stuff for each one. I'd have to find a forest and a desert and a casino and all that. But yeah, I think what I've done this time is a fun experiment, and then maybe if I do a similar challenge again, I was talking to a friend of mine, I was like, what would be interesting to do is like a sort of time of day one, kind of like what they've done with the new Animal Crossing, right? Where take one environment or a town and at midnight, at twilight, at noontime, at sunrise, right? And try and do a similar theme, but at different times of day. So that one I think would be a little bit easier to shoot. I can go to the same spot, shoot stuff at different times. So yeah, maybe something like that for next time. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see how this one goes.
And you know what else is interesting? You think about sometimes the way that you're plotting it out to do. Like I used to be over in publishing. I did 10 years over at Penguin Random House back in the day. So like in like writing world, you always hear about like, not just hear about, but people use all the time prompts for their exercises. And it's crazy. It's like almost the exact same thing where it's like, oh right, you have a prompt ready to go, and that's going to drive your creation process for that day.
Yeah, or kind of like artists, if you're doing like line drawing and stuff, right? You say, here's a figure, try to get the essence of the figure and draw it in 60 seconds or something, right? Like give yourself really quick sort of exercises. Yeah, that's kind of how I've been trying to approach it, is I'm not trying to create a masterpiece in a day. It's just kind of a thing to do each day to get me constantly thinking about it. And I've been thinking about it each day, right? Even when I'm not writing, I'm like, oh, desert, what might that sound like? I'm listening to to other similar stuff, the other desert music from games, as I kind of get a feel for it, so that if someday I am like, oh, I'd like to create a piece that sounds like this, I have a little bit more ammo for that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's going to be... I can't wait for the release for that, man. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, what I might do is in your Discord, I can post a couple of the ones I've done already as just a little preview.
Yeah. 100%. Please do. That would be super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome content. I would love... Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great spot because people can come back to it and check it out. There's definitely a little music section over there. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll put a couple in there as a little preview for anyone who's in the
anybody
Discord.
who's watching, if you want to join the Discord, there's a link below. It's not a particularly big Discord, but it's good and it's fun, and come hang with us. It's good. Hey, I'm Matt, streaming to you as always from Brooklyn.